World sympathies are with South Africa, so is mine. Put it this way, simple as that. So I've been kept on thinking about it, what is going to be the mantra to win this World Cup for the Proteas. I mean, all I've just kept on thinking all night, the Proteas winning the toss, roundabout getting 170 and come out blistering with a lot of pace, with a lot of gas in it, and start challenging the Indian batsmen with the bouncers, with the lot of aggression, with a lot of, I wouldn't call it that language. Would be so nice. That is the only way to go forward. You can keep on taking wicket against India because Hafiz played against them in a shorter format and in the 50 overs. You kept on taking wicket against India. That's how you expose their middle order, and that's how you put pressure on India. And that's how you win games against India, because Hardik is as good, he is very good handling pressure, but if the scores are mounting, then he crumbles too. So what if Rohit Sharma he departs early? Virat Kohli is a big threat. He is a big threat. Pant is also a big threat, and Surya Kumar Yadav is the critical part of this whole scenario where he's kept on getting runs. So I think it's going to be a tough question to ask for Proteas. Proteas needs to come out with a lot of aggression, and a lot depending on the toss. That I again say it. India wins it, they're going to get about 200 runs on the board. So that is going to be a lot of pressure to take. But my heart is kept on saying that Proteas winning the toss, come out of bat 160, 170 plus. India is going to be under a huge pressure, and it's going to be a one hell of a final to see, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Marty, coming to you now, your words on South Africa, because Aiden Markram is somebody who is familiar with that World Cup final pressure. He did win the Under-19 World Cup for South Africa all those years ago. What will he be thinking right now going into this? And of course, because there's so much talk about the South African team not being familiar with the World Cup final pressure, what are your thoughts of them as a team and of course under Markram's leadership?
Firstly, the Under-19 World Cup and the proper World Cup are two slightly different sorts of pressure, but the way I look at today's game is there's pressure on both teams. There's a billion people wanting India to win. That's a lot of pressure. And then obviously South Africa have never been in a final before, and then there's that pressure. So there's pressure on both sides. The team that stays the coolest, the calmest under pressure is going to win those key moments in the game, which will ultimately win them the trophy. So it's a tough one to break, but I think South Africa are going to win. I'd like them to win. That'd be a great story, wouldn't it?
Yeah. We already have our first prediction of the show.
Second, actually. Yeah, he went first.
Oh, okay. So India.
He's gone to South Africa.
South Africa?
No, my sympathies are with that.
No,
now you're changing.
No. I'm saying if South Africa wins the toss, I think he wins the half of the battle. And if he scored about 170, trust me, India will be a lot of under pressure. Trust me, it's not easy as chasing. Ask these batters.
That's how they get India under pressure.
Yes,
because they have a pace, and then they have a spinners as well.
Yes.
So I think.
And then you have Shamsi. Then you have Shamsi. You have Nautier, who can be very naughty with the bouncers, isn't he?
There's nasty
he can test a few batsmen. I'm sure he did that in the whole tournament, throughout the tournament. And that's exactly what I think. Nobody has tested in the international circuit Virat Kohli with the bouncers. Great player, great. No question about it. But what if about testing him? There are many bowlers got him out many times here. No problem, Hazelwood, right? So this tournament, again, Rohit is a very class act. He can pull and hook you. Hooking and pulling is two different things. And he can play an up on the front. He can smash you to the mid-wicket. But what if there is no harm of taking chances? Come on, getting Rohit Sharma out, giving him another 14 runs is fine. I'll still take it. Another 20 runs extra, I'll take it. But get Rohit Sharma out of it. I think Shamsi is the best of the form. And sorry to take your time, guys. But I really think that Proteas is winning the toss, winning the half of the battle. But what if India wins the toss? My favorite goes to, he said 1 billion people. It's to be exact, they're surpassing China, 1.6 billion people. So right there, watching and chanting India to win.
Oh, wow. Well, there's the blueprint from the man that certainly knows how to instill fear into the opposition batters. Shoaib Akhtar says you need to get a little bit of spice, a bit of bounce early, really attack the Indian batters. The Proteas are going to succeed. But Yunus, I want to come to you for a second, because I want to go into the psyche of a player, a captain, on such a huge occasion. You know what it's like to contest a World Cup final and to win a World Cup final. What will be going through the minds of the players when they wake up on a day that's as important as a T20 World Cup final?
If we talking about both of the captains, both are very calm and cool. So the way they do captaincy in this all tournament, it was amazing. And you know, for me, India will be more loaded team. If we look at their batting, their bowling, and especially the fast bowling, they are fully loaded. But it is final, and I think they were there like 2 or 3 times in the final, and they lost badly. So I think that pressure can, you know, sometimes add more pressure on them, and that's how the teams are, you know, do mistakes. But if you look the journey of South Africa in this whole tournament, every game they were in under pressure, and you know, we were thinking that they will be lost the game. But I think it is all about how the both of the captains handling the pressure, and especially the youngster, the senior guys, how they perform for their team at the moment.
How did you cope with the pressure as a captain? Did you do anything different?
In 2009, when we are facing South Africa at that time, so I will know that we are winning the World Cup. Before the grand final, so sometimes you know that you are in the good shape, and
felt it.
yeah, that feeling is there. So I think if Adam Markram feel like that, they have a good chance to win this World Cup for his team.
Professor, India, South Africa, Barbados is going to be a big party in Barbados today. That's for sure. And, you know, we've talked about the stage that they like to set, you know, in the Caribbean for these big events, and expecting a lot of that party as well from both the sides, and their fans, their families, everybody gathering together. Nerves, that's what's the most important thing. आपको लगता है आज इन दोनों teams के दरमियान जो difference होगा वही होगा, nerves, pressure, who remains calm. और अगर ये सच है तो फिर आपकी नज़र में कौन सा कैप्टन, कौन सी टीम is more likely to remain calm in that atmosphere?
देखें, सबसे पहले तो दोनों टीमों की जर्नी को मैं अप्रिशिएट करना चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि दोनों टीम्स की जो जर्नी थी वो बड़ी बेहतरीन थी, और उन्होंने प्रूव किया दैट दे आर द बेस्ट टीम, इसलिए वो फाइनल खेली. दोनों अनबीटन आए, डिफरेंट पाथवेज हैं. For 2 different pathways, one with the dominance of skills in any given condition, I'm talking about India. The other team, South Africa, mostly they've been tagged not to handle the pressure at the crucial stages of the game. In this World Cup, they've shown that skill in enhancement within themselves, like they can handle any given situation, any pressure situation, they come out victorious in those particular situations. So I think personally, as a fan of cricket, I would be more excited to watch this game rather than anything else, because to me this would be the real clash of titans, because this will give us the best champion out of them. I know both teams will be given enough opportunities when you talk about the players handling pressure, a lot of talks around, lot of buzz around, but I still believe as a team both teams should be there, number one. Number two, there are certain things obviously India did well, because the conditions are always in their favor. When you play in Caribbean, obviously if you have 3 spinners within your squad, it helps you a lot. Good obviously point. That goes in their favor. 100%. But if you talk about the process of understanding of South Africa, they also followed the same way, because they brought Shamsi at the very right time when he was required. And he, even though he's been one of the game, he's been out of the park in 4 over 50 more runs, but their captain, their management kept the faith on him and given him further chance, and he brought match winning performances for them. So I think as a team, Adam Markram and Rohit Sharma, the board did the fantastic job for the team. But obviously if I would be the one, I would like to see my neighbours to win this World Cup, and that is obviously India, because to me they played better cricket, they played the cricket we all wanted them to play, and especially the growth of their cricket. In last 1 year or 1.5 year Test Championship, they were in the final, they couldn't make it. 50 over World Cup, they were in the final, they couldn't make it. Why not this time? They should make it, because all these players are gone through with that pressure of dejection when you don't do well in the final. So I think at the moment they should enjoy, they should have that glory within themselves, because they deserve to be there, because couple of times they've been very close to that and they couldn't make it. So I think personally, I would like to see India winning today.
And just on that note, because we've seen India lose that final to Australia just a few months back,
Yeah.
Shoaib. So that will be on the back of their minds for sure. But also this might well be Rohit Sharma's last World Cup as captain, and also Rahul Dravid. I mean, he's also bidding farewell. What will this victory, if it happens, what will it mean? कि कितनी meaningful होगी टीम इंडिया के लिए और उनके पूरे स्टाफ के लिए जो कि बार-बार इतने करीब पहुंच के हार जाते हैं?
Look, there is no question about it. India has lost the finals many a times. The one is just right before about 8-9 months ago. So it's going to be on their mind. They're going to be under pressure. It's not like there's going to be a walk in the park for them. Just going to go out there and they're going to beat the Proteas and they're going to take the trophy. It's not going to happen. The one thing is going to give them a run for the money is the Proteas. I think Proteas are quite up for it. This is one African country who has been struggling to go out there to set a mark on a world map and a world cricket by winning the World Cup. This is the first time they have united the whole nation, didn't they?
Yeah.
By reaching the finals. There are many greatest players such as Jack Callis, come on, for heaven's sake, A.B. de Villiers. None of the people can made it to the finals. And someone like Markram, the guy has a great intention, I'm a great captain, a great team man, and a very visionary captain at the same time. So he gets everything together, gelling together, and he's going to get his act right. So I really think that they're going to put a lot of pressure in India in terms of by winning the toss and then coming hard at them in times. And I really think that, India is not going to be easy run for them either. It is the only one guy who can release the whole pressure. If you kept on seeing this whole scenario for the last few games, this is the one guy who actually releases the pressure is Rohit. This is the guy who comes in on a very tricky tracks and he comes and plays. Marty, it's not easy to play strokes like this, right? Where the ball does not come and hit in the bat. So he comes and times it. He comes and does his thing. He gets around about 50 runs, fast 50 runs. So he releases the pressure. He makes things easier for the middle order. And we even know Virat Kohli is not the same Virat Kohli was saying. And we often talked about it. This is not his role, right? He needs to come on a one-down position. But even having said that, what if Rabada comes in, Nodi comes in, get Rohit's out? It looks like, I heard the news, it looks like a very flat track and there are going to be a lot of runs on the pitch and the rain is going to be after 3 o'clock and it's going to be very interesting to see. And I'll be very honest with you, the both teams are feeling the heat right now. And the both team, as you asking me as a player, each one of us who played the World Cup, we actually was very nervous. All of us were very nervous. We first few overs didn't know what is happening. Where the ball is going, what we're doing, what we're talking about. We're not listening to captain. Captain was not listening to us. So everything needs to settle down. As quickly as you settle down in the environment, you get the things right.
Well, World Cup cricket, it doesn't get any bigger than this, and it absolutely feels, given the history that these two sides come into this contest with, that this is a game that'll be won with the thing in between the ears. Because if you can release the pressure, release the shackles, allow yourself to play freely, both these sides absolutely have what it takes to get the job done today, Marty. And we come to the conditions of today. We're in Barbados at Kensington Oval, looking at the scores that have been scored there on this oval. It's one of the highest scoring grounds. There are runs on offer if we go by the statistics today. An average first batting score is 150, average winning being 182. That's a lot of runs, that's a lot of scoreboard pressure. Given the bits of information we're getting in about the track, that it is quite a good looking wicket, a bit of a paradise of runs available for the batters. Who does that suit better should we get really batting friendly conditions, do you think?
Well, let's just remember that looks can be deceiving. We don't know what it's going to do until they step out onto the field and actually play. Let's hope for a good close game where there's runs scored, it's free flowing. No one wants to see a team bowled out for 90 in a final and it be you're limping towards that sort of target. But yeah, a decent track of 160 plus would be a really good game, I feel. Obviously, there's always a wind going across there and teams have got to take that into account and they'll be looking to hit with it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a really, really good game. There's matchups the whole way down both 11s, which I'm really looking forward to talking about shortly. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And a Bayesian wicket does offer respite for the bowlers as well. We've seen the spinners have been so effective, particularly on this exact wicket as well. Kuldeep Yadav was just brilliant. on these particular conditions, and then the thinking about Shamsi and Maharaj on the other side. For you, is it a battle of the middle overs, do you think?
I think it's a battle of 40 overs. It's the whole time. That may sound like a pretty diplomatic answer. Or
Very on the fence of you.
That's the reality of cricket.
Yeah.
The team that's in it for 40 overs is going to win it. But you're right, the Shamsi versus Kuldeep matchup is a huge one for both teams. Whoever plays the opposing wristspinner better, I think is going to have a better chance of winning the game. I'm not sure what you guys think about that.
No,
It's the
I
same.
agree.
You know, both are the spinners used to with these
100%.
conditions. You know, especially Kuldeep. They are with these kind of low and turn pitches. He knows, and also the Shamsi, he play PSL, so he knows how to bowl and operate his varieties and the googlies and the flippers, and so I think that's how if the batters manage that period and don't give any wickets to them and 160 or 70 on the board, and then you're chasing and suddenly something happens, so you will be behind the game.
I think you should have got to trust your skill at the same time. Maharaj also needs to trust his skill too, and Shamsi's too. You have to come out with something good. But with the spinner bowling and spinning, and when he spins, he always leave some leather out of the ball, right? So mind you, it's always going to reverse. And this is a very critical part. Even if you get about 2-3 overs of reversing,
That is more than enough, especially in these
Exactly.
T20 games. Yeah.
So I believe, Noti is there, Rabara is there, like Bumrah is there, right? So no,
Harshdeep is there, and
is
especially
there,
he's the ball,
and
the-
especially
yeah.
Hardik Pandya reversed it as well. So it's going to give you a chance to reverse it early on at the same time. So with the spinner bowling, with the lot of wrong ends, with on a flat track, a lot of hits going to be hit on the balls, but that's going to be a very interesting fighting. I'll be honest with you, Australia, Proteas is not going to be bogged down that easily in front of Indians. I think it's going to be a very tough game to see, but I want to see South Africa winning the toss first, because the match is then the match is on.
चलिए कुछ ही देर में हम टॉस के ऊपर भी बिल्ड अप करेंगे एंड वी विल बी शेयरिंग लाइव विजुअल्स फ्रॉम द ग्राउंड एज दे कम इन. बट जो बात अभी यहाँ पे हो रही थी, एक तो प्रेशर की बात हो रही थी और जर्नीज. बोथ दीज टीम्स हैव हैड सच डिफरेंट जर्नीज टू गेट टू दिस पॉइंट. प्रोफेसर, अगर हम इंडिया की जर्नी देखें अभी तक इस पॉइंट तक टू द फाइनल, अभी तक उनका काफ़ी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड और कन्विंसिंग कैंपेन गई है. सिर्फ वो जो एक मैच था अगेंस्ट पाकिस्तान, अगर आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देखें, दैट विनिंग मार्जिन वाज probably the most closest one that has
Put
been
up the best fight, didn't they?
We did, of course, but in the end, if you look at all those other margins, it was very one-sided for India to keep winning these games on these different tracks that they've played. How much role will that play कि अब आप एक convincing तरीके से जीते हुए आ रहे हैं compared to, of course, हमें पता है दूसरी टीम का वो आइडियल नहीं रहा यहाँ तक की जर्नी. इंडिया कितना बैंक करेगी इस फैक्ट पे, या आपको लगता है कि ये इतना मैटर नहीं करता बिकॉज फाइनल है तो फिर इट विल बी अ न्यू चैलेंज?
देखें, अगर आप इंडिया की बात करें तो इंडिया के पास एक कंप्लीट टीम मौजूद है. हमें ये नहीं भूलना चाहिए कि उनको बैटिंग फर्स्ट या बॉलिंग फर्स्ट से कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. वो इस वक्त की इस पूरे टूर्नामेंट की एक कंप्लीट टीम है. उसके बाद अगर उनकी जर्नी की तरफ इस मरतबा मैं जाऊँ तो देखें, इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मैच मेंटली बहुत बड़ा इम्पैक्ट छोड़ता है. जीत के भी आपको बड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस मिलता है और हार के भी आप बहुत नीचे गिरते हैं. हमने पाकिस्तान को इससे पहले कई मरतबा वर्ल्ड कप के अंदर इसलिए बड़ा बुरा परफॉर्म करते हुए देखा कि वो इंडिया से अच्छा मैच नहीं जीत सके. वो मेंटली नीचे चले जाती है. बहुत से प्लेयरों ने अच्छा हैंडल नहीं किया हुआ इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मैच. इंडिया ने जब वो मैच जीता, मुझे ये लगता है कि वो मैच उनके लिए एक ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज इन दैट पॉसिबल वे था कि उनको अपने ऊपर मजीद एतमाद आया कि हम जब पाकिस्तान से इतना हारा हुआ मैच जीत सकते हैं. लाइक वो मैच जो किसी भी तरीके से अगर आप उसको नॉर्मल दोबारा 48 बॉलों पे 48 देंगे, 8 विकेट किसी भी टीम को दे देंगे, एसोसिएट मेंबर को भी दे देंगे, वो भी जीत जाएगी इंडिया के खिलाफ. पाकिस्तान ने वो नहीं जीता. वहाँ पे उनका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल स्काई हाई चला गया. अगर दूसरी तरफ मैं इनकी उसके बाद की जर्नी देखूँ, वो डोमिनेंस ऑफ द स्किल्स थी और कुछ नहीं था. ऐसा नहीं कि कंडीशन कोई इनके लिए सूटेबल थी. वो एक क्वालिटी थी जो इस टीम के अंदर मौजूद है, जो इनके बॉलर्स में, इनके बैट्समैन के अंदर मौजूद है. बहुत से मैच पहले जीते जाते थे रोहित शर्मा और विराट कोहली की वजह से, लेकिन अब सूर्या कुमार यादव मैच जीत रहे हैं, पंत अपना रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं, हार्दिक पांड्या रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं. तो ये वो मैच विनर हैं जो डेवलप हुए हैं पिछले कुछ सालों में. साउथ अफ्रीका की जर्नी के अंदर मैं पहले बात कर चुका हूँ कि उसके अंदर डिफरेंट सिचुएशन ऑफ द गेम में डिफरेंट प्लेयर्स ने परफॉर्म करके टीम जितवाई हुई, इसलिए उनका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल बड़ा हाई है. तो इंडिया और साउथ अफ्रीका दोनों की जर्नी में बड़ी खूबसूरती है। देखा जाए तो दोनों डिजर्व करते थे यहाँ तक पहुँचने में। और जो मेंटल स्टेट की बात है ना, मुझे नहीं लगता कि जिन्होंने इतना प्रेशर डील किया हुआ है उनके ऊपर फाइनल खेलने को प्रेशर होना चाहिए। यस, आप सोचते हैं कि ये एक वाहिद मैच है, जब अगर हम ये जीतते हैं तो ये ट्रॉफी हमारे पास आती है, लेकिन जो प्रोसेस है उसने इतना रिफाइन किया हुआ, इतना रगड़ा लगाया हुआ इन दोनों टीमों को कि ये इस जगह पे पहुंच के ये इनके कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल स्काई हाई होंगे और ये चाहेंगे कि वन मोर टाइम अपने स्किल्स की एग्जीक्यूशन करें और ट्रॉफी जिसके लिए हम लोग खेलते हैं क्रिकेट उसको अपने साथ लेके जाएं।
And you know, Yunus Khan is nodding his head because he is aware of that pressure of going into a final, losing it, and then making it one better in the next edition. You know, 2009 mein we did that. So I think India will be counting on that pressure of coming up against Australia and just not doing that one step further, sealing the win. And this time around,
कि शेरवानी पहन के कितना मुदब्बराना गुफ्तगू फरमा रहे हैं हफीज साहब, है ना? कितना अच्छा खिताब
आप
दे रहे
सारे
हैं,
माशाल्लाह,
है ना?
very
माशाल्लाह हाथ आपके खुले नहीं जब आपने जब से शेरवानी पहनी,
मेहरबानी।
वो शेरवानी खुले नहीं दे रही
है ना?
Well, what do they say?
Right,
It
correct.
takes
I think
मुश्किल से टाइम मिल रहा है हमें बात करने को,
शुक्र।
सारा टाइम तो एक बंदा लेके जा रहा है, तो हम तो फिर जो हमारे पास आधा मिनट मिलता
audience
है
जानती है,
मैं यहाँ पे
audience सच जानती है।
नहीं, मैं एक ऐड जरूर
पाकिस्तान
करूंगा।
टीम जानती है, तू किसी को नहीं बोलने देता।
देखें, हमने जब 2007 का वर्ल्ड कप खेला तो उसके बाद हमने वहाँ से लर्न किया और फ़ौरन ही जब अच्छा इस T20 में फ़ायदा ये होता है कि हर 2 साल के बाद ये आ रहा होता है, तो इस वजह से हमने वहाँ से लर्न किया और हमने 2009 में वो जो मिस्टेक शायद 2009 में हमसे फाइनल्स में भी हमने इस दफ़ा नहीं किया। तो मेरे ख्याल से यही वो जो हम बात करेंगे लर्निंग होती है और आई होप कि इंडिया आज लर्न करेगा। उनके पास पूरे टूल्स मौजूद हैं, उनके बैटर्स की बात करें, उनके ओपनर्स की बात करें, उनके लोअर ऑर्डर की बात करें, उनकी बॉलर्स की बात करें, तो मेरे ख्याल से वो अब उनको वो ऐसा कुछ नहीं करना है। ठीक है, बाज़ औक़ात ये होता है कि आप एक तरफ आराम से जीत रहे होते हो तो सडनली कुछ एक आधा मैच में होना होता है, तो वो आज मेक श्योर करें कि वो इजीली खेलें और जाके ये ट्रॉफी विन करें।
मैं सिर्फ एक चीज़ ऐड करना चाहता हूँ, जैसे यूनुस भाई ने बात की कि सम टाइम एज ए कैप्टन या एज ए प्लेयर, इन्होंने एज ए कैप्टन वो फीलिंग फील की हुई और मैंने एज ए प्लेयर प्लेइंग फाइनल सम टाइम आपको इतना कॉन्फिडेंट आप फील करते हो कि आपको लगता है कि ये मैच हमने सिर्फ खेलना है और वी आर विनिंग। वो जो आपके दिमाग में, आपके जिस्म में वो जो सोच है ना, अगर वो डेवलप हो जाए जो इनकी 2009 में डेवलप हुई थी और मेरी एज ए प्लेयर 2017 के चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी में डेवलप हो गई थी। हम खेल इंडिया से रहे थे, मोस्ट प्रेशर वाला मैच, लेकिन लग ही नहीं रहा था, हमें लग रहा था कि ये मैच हमने जीतना है।
हाँ।
तो इनको भी ये फील लग रही थी। तो आज देखना ये है
We
कि
had the
दोनों
same feeling in
टीमों-
99 by the way.
You was feeling that?
That's why I made a wrong decision into winning a toss.
ये
and
भी होता है,
electing
समटाइम
the
आप
bat first.
कंप्लेसेंट हो जाते हैं।
Yeah.
लेकिन आप देखना ये है
We felt the
इस
same
वक्त-
by the way. Cruising.
Yeah, you guys were obviously
Cruising
those
all
days
the
were
way.
cruising. But unfortunately, whatever happened, I don't want to go into that.
हाँ.
लेकिन इस वक्त मुझे लगता है कि वो जो स्ट्रॉन्ग फीलिंग है ना, वो दोनों टीमों की देखने की जरूरत है
conviction.
कि वो जो कन्विक्शन आपके आती है कि यार वी आर विनिंग दिस टूर्नामेंट, इज दैट the way to follow for India or the way to follow for South Africa? We have to watch that.
Well, let's relive the journey of the Proteas as well, because if you look at their report card, it's been straight A's. They have not dropped a single game, Marty. But so many of these were such close calls. So in terms of practicing the pressurised situation of having to get the job done, do those 1%ers that ultimately ends in the wins that we see on the board here, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Are they going to run out of mental steam, or is it good to practice these situations before the big dance, in your opinion?
Yeah, I guess for being in those positions, it gives them a bit of a hardened mental state to go into this final. But you know, I find that it's actually all irrelevant at the moment. It's all about today. You know, India have had it cruisy. You know, they may fall today. You know, South Africa have played some tough cricket. They may fall today. So really, it's all about who turns up on the day. And you know, there's so many more relevant matchups to speak about than seeing what's happened in the rest of the tournament. You know, I'd love to speak about another one now if we have time. Is Quinton de Kock versus Rohit Sharma? I mean, these two, top 5 runs in the tournament. Pretty sure both of them. Key to getting the teams off to an absolute flying start to get ahead of the game. What's your guys' predictions? Who's going to come out on top?
Okay.
Well, obviously
I
at the
want
moment
Quinton.
Rohit is playing very well.
Rohit
Yes,
is-
de Kock also is the similar kind of a player. He wants to take the bowler on straight away.
Yeah.
But the way Rohit is displaying his talent in a different tricky pitches, because if you remember, a day before, a couple of days ago, he scored a 15-19 balls against Australia, and then the next, according to the pitch, he scored the similar good 50 with the 34 balls. So I think he understands that way he has to press his button, press the paddle, and where he has to stop himself and continue playing like that. De Kock on the other way, I believe he just wanted to smack the ball everywhere. So that is the only thing comes in my mind. Like if I talk about the more tactical part of doing it, I will go with Rohit Sharma.
Plenty more to unpack here on HML Waterfront presents Game on Hair. Key matchups, conditions, mental stamina in the big crunch moments. It's nothing quite like World Cup cricket, and the final is coming so quickly. Stick with us here on the show. Plenty more on just the other side of this very short break.